Checka, Mike Recca. Is this thing on? We got ourselves a heck of a show today. Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Today, I want to tell you about an absolute collapse coming in our food prices. And you may think that that's good, but it's also bad, but it's also good. U.S. agriculture, the U.S. agriculture system is in an absolute collapse right now because of the tariffs, and that's actually a good thing. But there's a lot more collapse happening, and if you're not ready for it, you're going to be part of it. Now, the truth is, Trump said in his last presidential campaign in 2016 that there was going to be a lot of pain, a lot of things that we had to get through in the economy. Type 1, if you remember that. And I have to ask you that question to Type 1 because a lot of people do not remember that phrase. There's going to be a lot of pain. We're going to go through some short-term pain for some long-term gain, all right? Well, now here's the deal. There are a lot of people who are like, I know what pain is. I went to the doctor once and he did that finger thing. Well, no, this is not that kind of pain. It's going to be double knuckle time. And the truth is, if you're not ready for it, again, you're going to be part of it. It's going to flow into real estate. It's going to flow into the stock market. 401ks are going to go down. And I actually couldn't be more excited. I'm going to share with you after I share a story out of CNBC. We're bringing it to you high class style. How and why this ag collapse is a good thing. A lot of farmers are going to lose their farms. And I know this is like, what? No, this actually happened during the Great Depression too. All right, here we go. And it's actually a really good thing. I'm going to get some farmers that are going to be really pissed off. But you're going to realize in a second why you should listen before you type and try and run out of keyboard ink. All right, here we go. This story is out of CNBC. Agriculture isn't nearing trade war crisis. It's in full-blown crisis already, farmers say. The clock is ticking on trade deals that the U.S. will need to strike with many nations, most notably China, to avoid what Trump's Treasury Secretary has described as an unsustainable tariff war. But in the U.S. farming sector, the damage has already been done and the economic crisis has already begun. Now, think about this. Farmers are on a strict timeline. It's not like they can wait for these negotiations to happen. Right now, the tariffs have been slapped, and China exports, I want to say off the top of my head, I'm sure it's going to say it, I think it's 40% of our food that we grow here in America is exported to China. That's actually a really bad thing. As a matter of fact, it's way worse than what happened during the Great Depression and why all the farmers lost their equipment and their farms back then. I'm about to tell you why. It's so much worse than that, all right? And the thing is these crops grow during a specific season. And China's going, we're not buying food at that price. And the farmers are going, we're going to lose our farms. We're going to lose everything we've got because the clock is ticking. It's not like they can wait a month, even a month. The food will spoil. It's got to get cut, packed, shipped, and sent over to China, okay? So now think about this, how bad this is, right? But it's actually not. It's a good thing. It says, U.S. agriculture exporters say the global backlash to President Trump's tariffs is punishing them, especially a decline in Chinese buying of U.S. farm products, leading to canceled export orders and layoffs. Peter Friedman, executive director of the Ag Transport Coalition, a leading export of trade groups for farmers, tells CNBC the number of canceled purchases of U.S. agriculture should not be described as approaching crisis. He said, it's a full-blown crisis already, he said. All right, let me explain something that even people, as a lot of people in the ag industry do not understand. And I do have a little background in ag commodities and how they move around the world, just a little bit. But I can't talk about that because one day my company will be massive, multi-billion-dollar company and will move food all over the world. All right, so here's the thing. First off, what causes food prices to go up? That is, there are more people buying the food with money than there's food to go around, right? So what happens is it's easy to raise the prices. Now, one thing our politicians have done, and just, people that work for the U.S. ag industry and stuff, they're politicians. What they get paid from and how they make stupid amounts of money is through tariffs, through taxes. And they love when ag products go up because if it's a set rate of tax, the price for the tax goes up because it's a set percentage of tax, set percentage of tariff. But because the cost of lettuce is going up, the cost of soybeans are going up, corn's going up, right? It causes that percentage to be greater. And the politicians love it, and they're fleecing us, all right? All right, and remember, too, there are a lot of good-hearted people that would probably say in the comments, Why would the politicians do this, Ninja? Because that means they've got to pay more. Well, I don't think you understand. They're making 10 or 20 times more than you and me. Maybe not me, but you. And that's the thing. I'm trying to get your mindset up to that next level to go, I need to start a business. I need to get out of debt. I need to get inflation hedges. And I need to start thinking bigger than these politicians and get wealthy, because then all of a sudden you're like, I went from prepper and hiding in a cave to I can not only manage my own finances and my life, but just absolutely blow past the average normal person. Guys, type yes if you agree with me. See, this isn't like everybody on this channel is in this same boat, but the truth is a lot of people, 98% of the population doesn't understand how the world really works when it comes to geopolitics, inflation, finance, business, and things like that. And they need to wake up to this, okay? Because this isn't we're all in this together. The elite, and right now our politicians are all elitist. There's no way to explain how somebody making 150 G's a year going into a political, runs a political campaign, gets into office, and then 5 years later, they're worth like $10 million. It's because they're stealing, robbing, doing insider trading on everyone in the nation, okay? And we need to figure this out now and get there now. This crisis with ag is going to be a lot worse than you think. So let's go a little bit longer here. It says, AgTC says massive financial losses are already being shared by its members as a result of the trade war based on reports it is receiving from member companies. Supply chain as drummage when fees are charged for delayed movements on goods. Meanwhile, the exporter said there are 9,000 metric tons on the water to China expected to arrive on May 13th and facing the threat of costly diversion to Chinese bonded warehouses or to other countries as Chinese buyers may refuse the cargo and abandon it at port. Here's the truth. China can't feed its country, okay? So a lot of this is going to be is made up and it's all hype. China needs to buy that food at any cost or they're going to have a revolt on their hands. But in reality, and I'm going to go down to the Great Depression and explain why a lot of farmers here are about to lose their farms. And the truth is most farms aren't owned by the farmers. They're run by farmers. They're owned by your pension funds. And I know this because I own a brokerage that actually sold farms to pension funds. So I do have some experience in this. All right, so in the Great Depression, my great-grandfather owned a farm. He owned a farm back in Iowa, and he owned it cash. And my great-grandfather was really big on letting the land rest every 7 years, meaning he took his farm, he divided it into 7 plots, because in the Bible it talks about letting the land rest. Right now, I don't know if you guys know this, most humans have a boron deficiency because we're not letting the land rest and letting certain minerals like boron accumulate back into the soil. And so we have a boron deficiency. Anyway, sorry, long thing. Don't take any financial advice from me or anything like that. Oh, wait, real quick. The sale for the Real Estate Master, all of my real estate courses put together, once a month group coaching calls till January, all that, the link's down below. It ends in a day, I believe. It's tomorrow or the next day. All right. So what happens is he split his farm up, he owned it cash, and every year a new plot of land would not be planted. And he had so much money, it was crazy because everything was cash. And he warned all of his neighbors. Back then, during the roaring 20s, the banks got all of the farmers in massive amounts of debt because all of these new tractors, this amazing technology came out. And sound familiar? All these businesses got super tied up in debt because they're like, oh, we could be more efficient. They went and got more land and they borrowed money from the land and stuff. And then what happened is during the Depression, as the Depression started, people started spending less. Well, they spend less. People spend less on all kinds of things during a recession or a depression. And one thing is the type of food they eat and the amount of food they eat. So they pulled back. Food prices collapsed and they couldn't sell their crops like they were. See, they were leveraged to the level. And think about this with just the average consumer. How many people in the lower middle class and middle class sit there and they go, hey, I make $100,000 a year. And that means I take home, let's say, $8,000 a month. And man, their bills are right at $8,000, man. Even though maybe a little bit more. They've got their payment on their car they can't afford. They got the payment on the house they can't afford. They got all this stuff. And they're going out to dinners they can't afford, going to Disneyland on the credit card. And their monthly payments are right there, right? Well, the farmers are doing the same thing. and they lost everything. My great grandfather said, I used to go around and warn all my friends, do not get into debt. And they would mock him, right? Like he was a small thinker. They're big thinkers. They've got big tractors, big land. They lost everything. So what my grandfather did is his credit was perfect. He went out and he started buying up farms cash, and he started employing all of his friends, and he became one of the largest farmers in the area, right? And it was because he was prepared for a time, even though he was warning people. Look, for the last 4 years, I've had a channel on YouTube using cardboard notes and riding on a tricycle and doing videos in my car saying, look, I'm a fairly successful person, and I'm trying to warn you guys, everyone around the world, get ready for this. Because the truth is, only 1% of the nation will understand. 1% of the people outside this world will understand and do something about it. Now, let me ask you this real quick, sound off. Type ninja if you're one of those type of people that have been sitting there in the silent warning people, but going, hey, you know what? I ain't blowing my cash. Hey, I'm going to save up. I'm going to buy some gold, some Bitcoin. I'm going to pay off some debt. And I'm getting ready for this because I'm going to swoop in. Because 1% are elitists, 1% are ninjas, and the other 98% are just sheep. And we're trying to wake up as many sheep as there are, as we can. The truth is, you just can't. And so what's going to happen is we're going to see a lot of farmers lose their farms, right? But the truth is they're funded by your pension plans. And I've told you this before, your pensions are going to be in a lot of trouble in about a year and a half. And that's a good thing because we're all going to swoop up and buy up everything we can, and good people are going to run big businesses. You're going to see this happen. But the truth is, it's going to cause the price of food to collapse because if you can't sell to China, what are you going to do? You're going to dump it on the open market in America, and that's freaking awesome. Let's see food prices collapse. See, this is part of Trump's plan, and the thing is, you got to understand, this is also going to collapse real estate. It's already starting. In my area, the amount of new homes that have hit the market are incredible. This is awesome. And it's happening all over the country faster than you think. But you won't hear about it in the news for about 4 to 8 weeks because that's how slow the news is. It's just because of quarterly and monthly reporting on the National Association of Realtors site, Department of Agriculture site, all that stuff. And once you understand time lag, filing dates, and things like that, you can predict the future. And we've been doing that here, and it's super awesome. All right, let's see what else. There's got to be some other bad news in here. Oh, here we go. A hay exporter in central Washington that sends large amounts of its crop output to Hong Kong and mainland China. You should just be selling it to Americans. Oh, that's right, because we don't pay as much as them. Was told to reroute most of its exports shipped in the last 2 weeks to Japan, Dubai, Taiwan, and a few Chinese ports. Those changes came at a cost to the company, and it told AgTC it's not sustainable. No one can replace all the volume that China buys. We had to adjust our employee count down to 12 people. This accounts for 1/4 of our total employees. The company said it had been communicating with customers and employees in hope that hasty and reckless decision-making at the top of our country will reverse. Are you freaking kidding me? Think about it. This company just had to lay off 25% of its employees because of a decision that was made a month ago. The people making the wrong decisions are the current farmers of America that are so in debt, so tied up. Trust me, the CEO of that company, I bet you we find out he's making like $1 million plus a year. Oh yeah, I had to lay off 25% of my company. Like, well, why don't you just go down to like a normal wage, $150,000 a year, save your 4 employees? No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you want to blame someone else. You see, that's the thing. The truth is, in America, we have a lot of companies that go out of business all the time. Big companies collapse and go out of business and lay people off because of decisions they've made. And the thing is, everybody wants a scapegoat because the CEO or the boss told them, it's not my fault, someone else's. No, it's your fault. See, I run businesses. I've had businesses for a long time. Some that make, 50 to 100,000 a year, some that have made millions and millions a year. And the truth is, it's my fault if something happens. But see, everybody wants to pin things on someone else. Type 10 if you agree with that. And the truth is, once you understand that there's nothing you could do to stop it, you better start getting ready to go crush it and take advantage of it because no one's going to come and help you, only you. Guys, seriously, type 10 if you agree with that. It's freaking awesome. I'm not joking. I'm not a doom and gloomer. I'm just like, here are the facts. Crap's going bad. Let's go crush it. If you want to be a part of that, then join Ninja Nation. Those are the people that are subscribed to this channel. Thank you to everybody who hits the resubscribe, because YouTube's decided now, you know, I got too many subs, so it's pulling a bunch, doing some weird things. I don't even know if the crackling sound is going on right now. It may be, but whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to outwork, out hustle, out post, out read, out invest everybody else that's on this channel making content. Ugh. This is how we go crush it. I'm so proud of all of you that keep showing up, keep saving, keep investing, keep freaking crushing it. All right. The ninja is out. How about that for an out?